Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And we have, I was going to say two, but really 2.5 people in the studio with us. As you'll see, there's little baby Lauren is on the set with us. We're going to be talking about So Big and Mountain House Maternity Home, which is located in
Whitestown, Indiana.
Indiana. And here to tell us about that are Dr. Lori Buzzetti. She is the founder and president of So Big. Is it So Big Mountain House or So Big and Mountain House?
It's So Big Mountain House.
Okay. And Maternity Home. And then we have Miss Noelle Kent, who is the founder. I'm sorry, you're the former. I've taken your position away from you. She's the former resident of the Mountain House Maternity Home. Welcome to Inside Indy. Wow. Tell folks what So Big Mountain House is. And why it's so special.
So Big Mountain House is a maternity home for women that are just in need during their pregnancy of some extra support, and so we provide food and shelter and other basic necessities for them, and they can come at any point during their pregnancy and then stay for up to a year after their baby is born. If they have another child that's under 10, they're allowed to bring that child to live at the house with them as well. And while they're with us, we just help them get connected with the resources that they need for prenatal care, help them in their job search if they need a job, or get them connected with school, and then get them connected with some of the support systems that are available in Indiana that are sometimes challenging to get connected to.
Okay, now we're going to show folks a picture of So Big Mountain House. And take us on a tour of the actual home. If we were to come and visit, what we would see.
Usually we have people come in kind of around the back side of the house, and you enter a study room that we have for the women, and then we have a huge kitchen that's just one of the favorite places in the house. And so the women each sign up for a day of the week to cook, and then we have a meal train. So if people want to bring in a meal for the women, and then we just that's a lot of gathering place. So time spent together with community, and then we also have a nice gathering area towards the front of the house, a big sunroom, and then living space. With the TV area, and then upstairs we have 4 bedrooms, and each woman has their own bedroom and kind of private space. And
So what made you pull this together, So Big Mountain House?
Really was a call from God about 12 years ago. I'm an OBGYN, and I was working at St. Vincent's in the primary care center, and I was the director of the women's clinic there, and just saw, supervised as the residents took care of patients, and just saw a lot of women in need there, and just wanted to give women an opportunity to choose life when they're in difficult situations. And then we often saw women that were in shelters and sometimes living in their car, and so just saw that need that sometimes women just find themselves in a spot where they just need that time to get back on their feet. So.
Wow. And I want to talk more about that, what you saw and what those various needs were. But I'm going to talk a little bit to Noelle Kent, and she has her little one here, baby Lauren. So take us back to your time at So Big Mountain House.
So I went to the So Big Mountain House when I was about 6 months pregnant. I was going through a lot with my family and school and, getting ready to have a baby. So I went to the Mountain House. It was a great experience. I felt like I got the support that I needed, and it was like family. They really became family. They helped me figure out my path. By the time I left the Mountain House, I felt like I really knew what I wanted to do in life and where I was supposed to be.
So prior to going there, and they became your family, what was going on before you got there, and what led you to go? What were your needs?
So I felt like I didn't have the support from my family. I was kind of in a bad living situation, and I felt like once I got to the Mountain House, they really, really helped me there.
Wow. Is that common Dr. Buzzetti, in terms of, she said, I don't have the supportive family. When the women come, there's obviously something that's lacking. What is usually going on with family? Because you would think that would be the number one source of support.
Well, sometimes their families are just in having difficult times going on. There may be illness in the family. There may be just some financial difficulties in the family where they just find it hard to be able to, take in and help their family member at that time.
Another new family member.
Right.
I get you. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I guess that is something to think about. But, now, see, when I grew up as a kid, a lot of it, there was tension and friction within the family, but it was usually because you were, just the fact that you were pregnant. It wasn't a lack of money or even a lack of support. It was just like, oh, you had a child, and that caused, actually, I would say, some tension in my family with a couple of relatives that really took a toll on them. And eventually they come around. So do you see that still today?
Some a little bit. We do see that, and I think, sometimes coming to live at the Mountain House allows the family to adjust to a new family member, and that this is, and then we do encourage, them to reach out and, have good communications with their families and work at rebuilding some of those relationships too.
Okay. So, Noelle, what were some things that you were able to take advantage of at So Big Mountain House that helped you after you left?
I feel like I got the resources I needed to get into school. I feel like they helped me figure that out, what I need to do, and being supportive for me taking my test to get into school. I feel like they also helped me provide for my child and getting her the things that she needed.
Okay. So you're in school now?
Yes.
Okay, so where are you going?
Indiana Wesleyan.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, what's your major in?
Psychology.
Oh, okay, very nice. Okay. So what are your long-term goals?
So I'm hoping to be like a child therapist, like counseling kids and things like that. Even kids that have been in similar situations as me.
Very nice, okay. So prior to going there, and you were pregnant, so you said 6 months pregnant, and say many months before that, and I know what you're saying, you were choosing life. Did that ever cross your mind to how am I going to make it? Did you think about termination? And obviously, So Big Mountain House to the rescue, but I was just wanting to know what you might have gone through in your mind prior to getting there.
Well, I'm pro-life, of course, so I always thought about keeping my child, but adoption definitely crossed my mind because I'm having this new kid, I'm by myself, I'm trying to finish school, I want the best for my kid, and I think that's what led me to the Mountain House.
Okay. And then I would think, though, your goal, too, is to try to reach those who are not necessarily against life, they're not pro-life, but they're at their wits' end, like, what am I going to do? I'm out here. So how are you reaching those people, and how do we reach them to say you do have a better choice?
So there are places like the Women's Care Center on 86th Street. They see women very early in their pregnancy, as well as several life centers that are throughout the city, and we're on their referrals. So someone comes in and is needing to feel like, or is wanting to find some support, then they reach out to us and we go through a process of seeing if we're a fit for them, if they think that they would fit well too. So.
Okay, wow. Well, I'm really happy for you, Noelle, and your bright future, and I think that support that you're getting is just so critical. So tell us some more stories that have come out of So Big Mountain House that will encourage our viewers, somebody out there watching may be ready to give up.
Sure. So we had a young woman that came and lived with us that had to go on medical leave for her pregnancy, and so as a result lost her job, didn't have a way to pay for her rent, and so was being evicted, and then was connected with us. And she also had another child, and so she and her daughter came to live with us, and she had and ended up having a healthy delivery and baby, had stayed with us for a couple months afterwards, and then moved out to be with family at that point. And she has she reached out recently and is doing well. She is working in a daycare, and she is going out and encouraging young teen moms, and just doing word speak and things like that. So it's just really encouraging to hear that. So
And this is probably a so big question, so big mountain question, but how can we take the model that you have for the house and teach it to the world? Because we can only get so many. How many people do you house?
we have 4 right now.
4. Right? So you can see this problem is huge.
I think it's just encouraging other people. So we have one woman that's living with us right now that is wanting to consider opening one in another location when she leaves our house. So I think just other people, it's just...
But it's a mindset. It may not even be a physical house. It's the whole thing of, what I love is that you're so focused on helping, and that children and moms are so precious. And I just feel like the world doesn't treat it that way. I mean, you think about just the overall treatment of women sometimes, whether it's in this country and abroad, but you think about how precious that baby and the mother is, how they are, that it's just not, if you understand how precious they get the special treatment, they get the special attention.
Right.
And I'm not feeling that in general. But when I think about the miracle of birth and all of that, it's just so...
It's amazing.
Yeah. But, and then it just popped in my head as you were talking, you mentioned somebody who's been there is going to do that. Maybe individual families, like a network of other families that have homes that they can accommodate within their home. It's kind of like the Big Mountain House Airbnb kind of thing.
Yes, and that is a model that some organizations have used too. That we,
Really have, okay, kind of like a network. So okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about that. And I don't know, maybe we can get something out of baby Laura. She's been talking during the interview. We'll see after this. And we're back here on Inside Indy, and we're talking about the So Big Mountain House maternity home, and how there's hope for moms who have that little one who's come into the world, and helping them in their journey. There is a big fundraiser coming up. Dr. Lori Bazzetti is here to tell us about that. You do this every year now, right?
Yes, we're getting ready to have our 3rd annual event, and we hold it at the Cardinal Room at the Golf Club of Indiana. It's on October 3rd this year, and we have dinner that's served, and we have a silent auction, and we have entertainment this year. We are having Kristen and Danny. They're Christian comedians, and they'll be emceeing throughout the night as well, and so we're just excited for the evening. So we use this event to raise about half of our operating funds, and so it's really a great benefit for us to have people come out and support it.
Yeah, I had a chance to go last year. The comedian you had was hilarious. Yeah. Oh God, I think about him sometimes. Like I was trying to remember the jokes, but they were like nonstop. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so people should, not to mention what a great cause. But if you have fun and support a great cause, it's a win-win situation. So we'll put that information on the screen, and we will come back to it just to remind folks. What if people can't make it to the fundraiser, but they just want to help you out?
Well, you can still register online for the event. The silent auction will be online for bidding if you want to do that, or you can also go to our website and just make a donation as well.
Okay, and the website is?
sobig.org, and if you go to /events for the gala, or if you go to sobig.org/donate, just to give.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll get back into the heart of the discussion about So Big Mountain House. So what's a typical day like? If I were to come and visit, what would I see? What happens?
So we are staffed 24/7. We have an executive director and an assistant director, and then we have house managers that are there during the day. And then we have meal managers that are there for meal times, and then we have an overnight staff. And so if our house managers usually arrive at 7 in the morning, and they just, the women have put their daily schedules on a calendar, and so it's coordinating whether or not they need to get to a doctor's appointment or whether or not they need to get to work. One of our women does have her own transportation, but the other 3, we have to assist them in finding transportation to get where they need to be. So, and then all of our women have just recently delivered, and so we have 4 babies, and so there's lots of baby care going on at the house too. And
It's the so noisy mountain house.
yes, exactly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So now you mentioned one had transportation, the others did not. And so obviously sometimes there are things lacking. Why is that in that particular person's journey? I don't have transportation, job, that kind of thing. And I'm saying that because I feel if we can get to the root of some of it, it will empower women even before they get to that point. What is lacking?
Well, some of it,
Is it just situational? Or?
yeah, some of it's just situational for them. And so they just have had some situations that have put them into some financial difficulties, and they've had to get rid of their car, or their car broke down and they don't have the ability, or the finances to get a new one, or so.
Okay. Okay. So I want to talk to Noelle again, and I'm not sure how to ask this. Baby Lauren's dad, is he still a part of your life?
He actually is, yes.
Very good.
I would say we're in a better place now than when I was pregnant, so.
Okay. That's encouraging. Now, do you see that often that is the case? Where is the father there, or is he not there?
It's varied from the different women that we have. Some of them have been involved, and some of them have, they've continued to spend time together and be together, and others, it's more of just a communication, and then some just haven't been involved at all with them.
Okay.
So.
Now, what's the typical age of the mothers at So Big Mountain House?
We've had a range anywhere from 18 to 38. So currently we have actually 3 women that are in their 30s, and then we have 1 woman that's 20. So.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Young.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it. So now tell me about your plans for Lauren. I know you're thinking about her future already.
So her plans now or when she gets older?
Both. You got your hands full, let me tell you that.
Yeah. So my plans for when she's older is, of course, college. That's my biggest thing, is her getting her education and helping her throughout that, pushing her to get a scholarship, of course. So she actually attends swim lessons now. So I'm hoping that's something she will continue to get a scholarship in swimming and go on to be successful. So.
Very good. Very good. I love it. I love it. So how can people get involved in supporting So Big Mountain House?
So we have, in addition to coming to our gala, you can also go online, and we have a volunteer tab, and you can sign up to volunteer. We need help with transportation. We need help. Sometimes we have classes going on at the house for the women, and so we have childcare needs.
Okay.
And things like helping with just the maintenance of the house. The women each work to help clean the house, but sometimes we need some volunteers to come in and do more deep cleaning, and then bringing meals. We have a meal train that's on our website that you can get signed up to bring a meal for the women, or
Wow.
those are just different ways. So we have also, if people just have a special skill that they want to share with, one of the women in Zionsville, Ingrid from Seed and Bloom, comes and does reflexology once a month for our women, and they absolutely love it. And
She's just smiling like she just loved it. I feel like I need to go live there. I can't have kids, but I'm thinking about joining, and she's just smiling. That's too cute. Now, you mentioned the ladies have classes, so tell us about those.
So we have a class called Transformed that we just completed this summer, and that was a curriculum developed by the Wheeler Women and Children's Center. Their director put it together, and it just teaches communication skills, self-awareness, just financial education, and so we just take the women through that to just give them some basics and help them understand what their spiritual gifts are and how God created them and how they can use that as they go out into the world.
Right. Okay. Now, how old are you, Noelle?
18.
18. Oh, she's just a baby too. Okay. I guess I was thinking you're a little bit older. So, wow. So when you'll graduate, what 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you have your whole life ahead of you. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. What advice would you give, especially young women, but anybody out there who's watching, but young women who find themselves in your situation? What would you say to them?
I would say to them, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. I think people my age get so wrapped up in not wanting to be, like, I guess to say, a charity case, that they don't want to reach out and ask for help.
And being what kind of case?
Like a charity case, like they're afraid to
charity
ask for
case.
help, basically. I would say don't be afraid to reach out to people. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay. Because when you think about some of your friends or peers or people you went to school with, that kind of thing, and if, say, they were in that situation where they became a mom, what do you think they're most afraid of?
I think talking to their family and the support. I feel like when you get pregnant young at my age, so many people don't think you'll succeed. They don't think you'll do anything in life. So.
And you say that ain't true. I can see that now.
Yeah, it's definitely not true. I think more for me, my family support started to because I was one of those kids that was going to college and I knew what I wanted to do. And then once I got pregnant, it was like, well, now she's not going to do anything with her life. So.
Yeah. Now, what do you suppose that is? Why do people think that because you have a baby that you're not going to do anything? What do you think, Dr. Rossetti?
Oh, I just think sometimes, a baby's so consuming, and so, and especially just trying to find and get connected with the supports that will help you be able to succeed. Transportation and childcare are huge obstacles for women, and so.
But you're right. If you have that support system, it shouldn't be a problem. And maybe part of the problem is they're thinking, okay, now it's going to take something from me, some work, some help, some input, and sometimes maybe we're dealing with selfishness that people don't want to do, or they're shying away from that. But I tell you, when that baby comes. Then everybody's on board. You oftentimes get a lot more support sometimes than you need. But I just love the way this has turned out for you, and I'm so proud of you. And just stick with it. Stick with your goals, and that I think it's beautiful what So Big Mountain House is doing, what it has done to help you, and what it's done to help others. So let's go over the details of the event, because we got to get people to this gala. It was absolutely fabulous last year, and I plan to come again this year.
Wonderful.
So this has become an annual tradition. And the property where you have it, the golf course.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even know it was there. It was beautiful. So let's go over the details again.
So it's at the Golf Club of Indiana in the Cardinal Room, there in Whitestown. And it starts at 6 p.m. We're serving dinner, and there'll be a silent auction and a few live auction items as well. And then we'll have entertainment with comedians Kristen and Danny.
Okay, sounds good to me. Well, thank you both for coming in. Dr. Lori Vazzetti, who is the founder and president of So Big Mountain House and Maternity Home, and Miss Noelle Kent, who is a former resident. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for joining us here on Inside Indy. I'm Kelly Vaughn, and we'll see you at the big gala. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.